Today's childcare shutdown. Ruby Healer is one of those taking action today. She joins us from Melbourne. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Why are you taking action and walking out today?
Well, we're taking action today because there is a real crisis in the childcare system that sees educators overworked and underpaid, leaving the jobs in droves, and also sees parents paying some of the highest childcare fees in the world. That's if they can access it at all. And this is all the direct result of an essential service being run for profit when it should be run as a universally accessible part of the education system. So we're fighting for higher wages that reflect the value of the work that we do, and we're demanding that all education should be free.
It is one of the great paradoxes of our system that parents can pay, in some cases, up to $180 a day per child for childcare, yet childcare workers and early educators get paid $22 an hour. What would you consider to be a fair rate of pay?
Well, childcare workers are one of the lowest paid industries relative to the level of qualifications and training that's necessary to perform the job. But, you know, every worker in Australia right now is facing the full brunt of a cost of living crisis, and wages aren't going up, prices and profits are. So, you know, I think we need more fighting unions. I think we need to see more actions like this so that we can take the wealth, you know, from the top of society and use it to build a society that works for everyone.
There's currently, according to the Care Quality Authority, a shortfall of 6,000 early childhood educators in Australia at the moment. Tell us about what it's like going to work. I mean, my kids went to childcare. I think everyone who works in childcare is absolutely fantastic. You do really great work. It's a demanding job. Why aren't people going into the industry and why aren't people staying?
Well, in my experience, there are a lot of people coming into the industry. The issue is that people are so overworked, under-resourced and underpaid that many dedicated, experienced, passionate educators are having to make the very difficult decision to leave the profession. You know, we do not want to leave our jobs. We want to stay in our jobs. We want a decent living wage so that we can stick around and do our work properly.
Have you spoken to any parents who are missing out on their kids today? What have they said to you?
I have had a lot of conversations with parents, and the support from parents has actually been overwhelming. A lot of parents are bringing their children to the demonstration today here in Melbourne. I think that's because parents understand that educators' working conditions are their children's learning conditions. So parents get that. The problem is employers and governments who think that they can get away with paying us $20, $22 an hour in the middle of a cost of living crisis. And they do think they can get away with that because of sexist assumptions about women in a caregiving profession. And we're saying we're not putting up with that any longer. We are demanding a living wage and safe staffing levels.
Okay. Thank you for speaking to us today, Ruby.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take you to South Australia now.